Hey guys, welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me on another amazing week. These past 2 weeks has been a little crazy. I'm part of Keller Williams. For those who don't know, it's a brokerage firm owned by Gary Keller, and every year there's a big convention called Mega Camp, right? And a Mega Camp is an opportunity for all agents to come together, exchange ideas, and for him to kind of pour into us from a high level and keep us focused, right? So for this week, we talked about the market and it's shifting, and what does that mean for you as a buyer, as a seller, and what value can we as agents give to you guys? Is there an opportunity in this market, right? Where's the opportunity? Did it leave with COVID a year and a half ago? Like, where is it? Is it a good time to sell? What does that look like for me, right? So my job today is to kind of talk about a few things that you guys can still think about, still have a control over for your destiny and how you want your property to sell in this insane market, right? In this market here in Texas, things have slowed down. It's like a little roller coaster, nothing crazy that I have personally seen. But what I am noticing is, hey, we gotta be very intentional about our tactics. We gotta be very persistent. We gotta be very clear once we put the property on the market and what we're trying to get out of it, right? So it's no longer, hey, let's put it on the market and let's just see what happens and just kind of like, just try our best and roll the dice. That's no longer going to be the reality for today's market. It may change, but we're here today and I want to kind of break down a few things, right? So if you were considering to put your property on the market, it's all about pricing the property right? You don't want to overestimate yourself and say, you know what, my house, I know it's worth maybe $300,000, but I want to shoot it up and go and do $350,000, right? That may not sell right away. But just keep in mind that you want to make sure that the people that are coming into the house can picture themselves there, right? It's all about, hey, if I was to own this house, what furniture would I put into it? What ideas can I, formulate for these rooms, and then make it my home, right? Make it my own. That's the whole point. You want to make sure that these people can picture themselves in the house. So my recommendation is always to, bring down any pictures, bring down any personal items. Just give it it's like a blank slate, right? Making sure that people can just, hey, this is a room and I could do whatever I want with it. Another great tip is, photography. Did I say photography? My gosh, before I even became an agent, when you're going through MLS, you're going through Zillow, you're going through Realtor.com, some of these photos, I'm like, girl, what are we doing here? A lot of people are taking photos with, taking pictures with their phones. People that think that they're photographers. I would say hire a professional. Your agent should be aware of, how to do so. And, that should be at no cost to you as a seller. Some agents, just kind of bundle it in their package, right, of listing your home. So everyone is a little bit different. Don't get caught up. Don't try to where's my photos for free? But just keep in mind, I highly recommend for you to get professional photos and making sure that, everything is, I'm gonna get my military out, dress. Making sure that, everything looks appealing, everything is clean, everything is decluttered, and photography is up to par. Another great thing to consider is, hey, have patience with the market, right? We don't know where it's heading. All we're doing is being precautious and, just taking it step by step. So just have patience with the market. If you put it on the contract, within 72 hours, congratulations. That's a fantastic thing. If you don't get on the contract within a week, it's okay, right? It doesn't mean that it's not going to sell, right? Just have patience with the market. Everything is going to take its course. Your time will come, but just have patience. Another great thing to do is, have all your ducks in a row, right? If you have documentations like a survey, a T47, a seller's disclosure, try to get those items done prior to putting on the market, because once we are on the market, guys, sometimes if we're on the contract, things are rocking and rolling. You know what I'm saying? We got to send these items out. We have to make sure that, all the prospective parties are receiving the necessary documents. I don't want to be haunting you guys and say, hey, where's my seller's disclosure? Just try to be proactive, rather than reactive. So try to have your seller's disclosure ready. Try to have your T47 if it's applicable to your state or county or area. Try to have your survey, right? Try to have lead-based paint, items that you know, not items, but documents you know that need to be disclosed on time, right? Another huge thing is, hey, let's prepare to pay off any liens, any clouds, any loans that are pending on the property, right? If you have a pool, what plan do you have to pay that off? Or what plan do you have to transfer that over if you can, right? Solar panels is a huge thing here in Texas. You want to make sure that, you know, hey, you understand if you get solar panels, there's a fee that you're gonna have to pay for once to transfer, right, the solar panels to a buyer. So just make sure that you have that, you know, that conversation with the agent, with the solar panel companies, with the pool service, whatever that entity is, to make sure that we are just, you know, just preparing ahead of time on, hey, you know, these funds are going to have to be split. They're going to have to be allocated to these different situations and different areas. Expectations need to be set, okay? The market did shift. Inflation did occur, right? And a lot of people, a lot of sellers are still feeling that, hey, you know, I could put it on the market and sell my property and make $100,000 or whatever the case is, right? You have to have patience with the market. That's one. Profit really doesn't necessarily or normally comes from, hey, I owned it for a year, I'm flipping it, I'm making 200,000. It doesn't really work that way, okay? But every market is different. Things happen that are unusual, right? Obviously, COVID hit. No one expected that. But I just want you guys to understand, you have to have that conversation about, hey, what does my seller proceeds look like? Okay, am I making X amount? Is that really a realistic expectation? If not, then what does it take to get there? Or should I wait to, you know, sell the house a few years later to then kind of make what I'm thinking, right? Just be mindful of that. I'm afraid that people think, hey, COVID hit, you know, inflation occurred, and I'm here like making, you know, all this money, and then we get to the closing table and you guys are like, wait, I'm not making $150,000. Like, no, buddy, we're not making that today. But if you do plan ahead and make sure that, you know, you're understanding how much equity you have against how much you can sell the house for, plus all the fees, it could be a different conversation. I just want to make sure that you guys are tracking, you know, what's ahead and what's to truly expect, right? There's so many different things, so much more that I can share with you guys. I don't want to take too much of your time, but I hope these tips and tricks and pointers really was valuable to you guys and really kind of give you guys a little bit more perspective to dig in a little bit more on how you can make profit. Don't forget, right? Real estate is one of the major keys in building wealth. And especially if you're a military member, don't let that go, right? Ask the questions, go to seminars, get yourself educated in the process, because there's always room for improvement. There's always room for growth, but there's always room to build wealth. All right, guys? So thank you so much for joining me today. Once again, thank you so much. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and thank you guys for joining. And don't forget to subscribe, okay? Don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.